One day, my family decided to take a holiday in a cabin deep inside the woods. It took us 2 hours to reach it, and upon arriving, we found a modest structure. There were 2 bedrooms, a small kitchen, and a living room. My 2 brothers and I claimed the larger bedroom. Outside, our parents wanted a family photograph, so the 3 of us stood beneath a towering tree, smiling at the camera. Later, when I reviewed the picture, my heart stopped. There was someone else in the frame, a figure towering behind us. It appeared to be draped in a dark suit, yet it was entirely faceless. There were no eyes, no mouth, just emptiness. I froze, and my parents never noticed it, nor did my brothers. Dinner passed uneventfully. Then my father paused mid-bite to ask about repeated knocking on the door. We weren't sure what he was talking about, and he shrugged it off, muttering that it might have been his imagination. That night, as we lay in bed, we heard a chilling scream tear through the silence. My youngest brother had seen it too. The same faceless man standing near our door. At this point, fear had seeped into every corner of the cabin. I told my brother to keep his eyes shut and pretend nothing existed. Eventually, he managed to sleep, though it was quite uneasy for him. Around 2 in the morning, knocking and the sound of deliberate footsteps woke me. I moved through the cabin cautiously. I checked the kitchen, the living room, but found no one. But here was the unusual thing. The tap and the fridge were both inexplicably open. That's when I felt it. The heavy breathing behind me. I whispered into the darkness, but no one replied. I pressed on, heart hammering, until my parents stirred. The hours passed in tense vigilance. Shadows seemed alive, and I saw movement in the corner of my eye, but it was always figures that were vanishing when I turned. At one point, I heard the slow, deliberate creak of a door, footsteps approaching, and the oppressive weight of being watched. As I hid, each one of my senses were on edge, and that was until the sounds finally receded, and only then could I sleep. When I woke up in the morning, however, there was no relief. The cabin just felt wrong. Every corner carried the memory of the faceless figure. Later on that day, whilst playing football outside, we heard bushes rustling, which then had sent a shiver through us. Shortly afterwards, our parents insisted on another photo. As the shutter clicked, the figure reappeared, closer this time, and it was holding the ball that we had been playing with. Upon the closer inspection, it was obvious that it had no eyes and no face, just a featureless presence in a suit that exuded malice. As the night descended like a shroud, Attempts to show our parents proved futile, as the figure would just vanish the moment they'd look at the photo. Eventually, as night carried on and darkness swallowed the cabin, the light started to fail. Doors creaked open and closed on their own, and chilling notes appeared. On one such note, there was a message that had said,
"Do not think you are safe. I take children who are careless in the woods."
Panic gripped me. My youngest brother was gone. I searched the cabin, leaving no corner unchecked, but he was nowhere to be found. As my parents awoke, my parents panicked, yet the night continued to deepen. The faceless figure remained, always just beyond reach. How do I know this? Because another photo confirmed it. I took a photo this time. The photo had the window in the background, and there it was, that figure, peering from the window. That was when I heard a scream. My mother had come out to say that my other brother was also missing. This figure grew bolder, approaching with a deliberate, silent menace. At this point, my dad grabbed the phone and called the police. He explained that there was an intruder and his sons were missing. But their response was chilling. They warned us to get up from there and leave immediately, as too many officers had disappeared in similar circumstances in that cabin. At this stage, we don't know what to do. We've left the cabin, obviously, but somewhere deep inside us, we still need to know what's happened to my two brothers. My dad has been relentless with private investigators, but he just keeps coming up short. My mother is beside herself, because in one night, she lost two of her sons. Every now and again, I take a selfie, and yet I can still see that same faceless figure lingering behind us, watching, waiting. It's clearly not finished, and it is still after me. If you are based in the UK and would like to enjoy freshly batch roasted coffee delivered to your door, visit vitalcoffee.co.uk and use the coupon code mrfreakystory to get 10% off from all products. I will leave a link in the description below.